Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
Really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
Episode 123, Weather Weekly. Good to be with you. Hey, welcome to the month of May. And what should be usually warmer temperatures, although maybe not feeling like it here early on. Good to be with you. I'm meteorologist Marcus Bailey from Wish TV in Indianapolis. Started the weekend off pretty nice, but things got pretty dicey in a hurry. We had showers and storms in the afternoon, had some pretty gusty winds, some chilly temperatures. Sunday, not a fun day with on and off rain, gusty winds, some hail for some areas or graupel. So pretty ugly. And unfortunately, I think we're probably going to carry that over at least here early on in this week. But I do have some better news for you as we get later into the forecast, especially for those of you that are going to be running in the mini marathon that's coming up next weekend. I think we're going to start seeing some warmer temperatures here in short order. We'll have that forecast for you for the first week of the month of May. That's next on Weather Weekly. All right, episode number 123, and this is for the forecast for starting on May 1st, 2023 here. Wish it was a prettier start to this month here. Not great, and things you got to keep in mind here. Average high, typically around 70 degrees, 69 officially on May 1st. But by the end of the week, your average high is around 70 degrees. We're going to be far from that. In fact, I think the first couple of days here are probably going to be running about 20 degrees below average. So let's kind of walk you through things here. We'll start with Monday the 1st. I think you're going to be off to a gloomy start, and you're going to have some on and off rain, I think, for the morning hours. And then there are some hints that there's going to be some showers that are probably going to start being more widespread as we get later on into the day. So there's going to be more of kind of an early March feel, not an early May feel. So these showers probably become widespread into the afternoon. This is a pretty wound up low that's going to be sneaking south from Michigan. So you're going to have some pretty gusty winds. We had that at times on Sunday, but it was more associated with kind of lines of showers that were coming through and some thunderstorms even. This will be kind of an all-day thing. All right, so we're going to have a pretty tight gradient here, a pressure gradient. And so wind gusts could get up as high as 40. And I think that's going to be pretty common, maybe even up to around 50, especially as if you get farther north of the north in the state. You could have higher potential for 45 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Wind advisory may be needed here. So just, again, Monday the 1st, just an ugly day. Cloudy, chilly, a high of 50, and you're going to have some of these persistent showers, especially heading into the afternoon with some pretty blustery winds. And with it being so chilly, probably like a lot like we had on Sunday, there could be some graupel mixing in, so just kind of keep that in mind. We'll keep with some of these scattered showers, I think, and blustery winds overnight for your Monday night heading into Tuesday. Temperatures are probably going to be falling into the low 40s. So okay with your plants outside. I think the cloud cover and the wind will limit those temperatures from really free falling, because obviously it is a pretty chilly air mass, but should be okay from frost Monday night into Tuesday. Tuesday, again, pretty similar. I think the rain, it won't be as widespread. It's going to be very hit and miss. It's going to be gloomy on Tuesday. It's going to be breezy. I think gusts probably up to around 30 miles per hour. And again, it's going to be cool. So a high of around 52 for your Tuesday on the 2nd. And then once we get, well, I should mention before we get into the mid and late week, Tuesday night, I think we're going to gradually clear things out. The wind should start to ease up. No rain threat Tuesday night, but I do think we're chilly enough. Mid and lower 30s across much of the state. That'll be enough for some frost, so I would fully expect probably a frost advisory at least to be issued for Tuesday night the 2nd into Wednesday morning the 3rd. Some areas in northern Indiana may sneak into the lower 30s. A lot of that's going to depend on how quickly the winds can ease up and the clouds can get out of here. But there could be some freeze warnings up north. All right. So midweek, so much better. All right. Once we kind of get everything out of here, we're going to be warming. And warming quickly once we get past Wednesday. I think we're still kind of on the periphery, if you will, the outside edge of this cold core of air on Wednesday. It is going to be far better. There's going to be sunshine that's going to go do a lot of work on the 3rd. And after a frosty start, I still think we're going to bounce back to near 60 on the 3rd. So good shape there. Once we get past Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, I have no frost threats in the forecast for the remainder of this extended forecast. Okay. Thursday, the 4th, excellent. Numbers in the low 40s in the morning, sunshine Thursday afternoon, and highs in the upper 60s. So we're much closer to average than by Thursday, the 4th. Friday, a pretty nice day. Maybe a few clouds in here, but all in all, not bad. Friday, the 5th, we'll go with a high of 67 for your high. Weekend also looking okay right now. Mini marathon on Saturday. I will mention that a couple of the models have some showers in southern Indiana. So we'll have to keep an eye on that because sometimes those have the potential of maybe drifting north. All right. Right now it's dry. Right now I think we're okay. Saturday the 6th, wake up temperatures into the mid to upper 40s, and you'll have high temperatures in the upper 60s. So race time temperatures for the mini on Saturday likely will be probably around 50, maybe lower 50s. So not bad. Didn't see any significant wind issues yet. We'll keep an eye on that. There may be a little bit of a breeze, so I don't want to go and say it's going to be a calm day, but right now, all in all, I think we're okay for the mini Saturday morning. Good luck to any of you that are going to be running. Sunday the 7th looks good. Lots of sunshine and warmer, a high of 71. And it looks like we're going to have maybe a chance for showers coming in Monday on the 8th. A couple of the model runs, specifically the Euro and the GFS, both putting some scattered showers into the mix and numbers into the upper 60s and lower 70s, so fairly seasonable. So, again, the cliff notes of this here, really raw start to the week, Monday and Tuesday, chilly, shower chances. Monday, I think, is going to be the worst of the 2 days because you're going to have much more consistent rain opportunities, especially Monday afternoon. Both days are going to be quite windy as well, highs only in the low 50s. Cool but dry and quiet Wednesday at 60, and then we are back to near normal temperature starting Thursday, and that should carry over into early next week. So just hang in there, give it about 3 days. All right, give it about 3 days, and we start to kind of turn the corner a little bit. So something to look forward to there. Coming up, we'll look at the stats for the month of April, and we'll go ahead and look ahead at the forecast for the next 8 to 14 days. And, of course, we'll have the new month of May forecast as well in terms of temperature and precipitation outlooks. That's coming up next here on Weather Weekly. All right, let's take a look at the April stats, mapping up the month of April. And next week, we'll get more in depth on where we finished with stat-wise. All right, so stay tuned for that. That'll be on the new episode of Weather Weekly coming out on May 8th. All right, so precipitation for the month, 2.04. That's actually down 2.14. April, one of the not the wettest month, but it's on the top tier of soggy months. So running a little bit dry, and we did have a pretty extended dry period there. Started to make up a little ground late in the game. Since March 1st, though, we're okay. Just a shade over 8 inches of rainfall. We're on the plus side of just shy of 1/4 of an inch. And since the beginning of the year, 14.59, we're on the plus side of 1.17 inches. We're about a 1/2 inch to the plus side of where we were this time last year. We won't mention snowfall. We don't really see much snow in the month of May. Didn't get any for the month of April, and let's just keep it that way. I don't want to, let's not rewrite the record books, all right? And other quick stats here for you. We start the month off here, the month of May, with a wake up temperature. Or not wake up, I'm sorry, wake up temperature. Sunrise time. That's what I'm trying to say. 6:47 in the morning and 8:38 in the evening. All right. There we go. Rainfall for the next 7 days, not real impressive. Around the Indy metro area and Donut counties, anywhere between 0.3 to half an inch of rainfall. Northern Indiana over the next 7 days could see a little bit more. Places like South Bend and Michigan City could see around an inch. We'll say 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Fort Wayne to Angola, right around a half an inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. And down by the Ohio River, pretty bleak, maybe about 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rainfall there. So not a lot of great rain chances. Again, the rain we get early on the week is going to be really light, really chilly. And then we run pretty quiet for the remainder of the week until the 8th. And that's pretty far out. So that's at the tail end. That's actually beyond the 7-day precip outlook here. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the 8 to 14 day outlook. Here's some positive news. The 8 to 14 day outlook calls for a decent signal. I'm going to call it a strong signal, but a decent signal of above average temperatures. This would take you between the 8th and the 14th. All right. So that would take you into next week. So hopefully that holds true. That will keep us above average for the next week. And no strong signals either way for above or below precipitation. Okay. For the newly released, this was issued April 30th. For the 1 month temperature outlook, pretty strong signal of below average temperatures. Okay. There's some signs that we may see things dip a little bit, even though we kind of bounce back closer to normal by the end of this week and maybe above average. But there may be some signs we get in the second half of the month, we may be running a little bit below average here. Now, just because I say a strong signal for below average doesn't mean it's going to be like, 20 degrees below average. It just means that we may be running below average. Below average is 5 degrees, below average. That would consist of below average there. So don't let that scare you a little bit. But, by the middle of the month, you're starting to approach, mid 70s for highs. And we may be falling short of that as we get into the middle of the month. End of the month, we got a lot of outdoor activities coming up here over the next several weeks. Things will be really heating up at the track, no pun intended. And so I know a lot of you like that fine line. You don't want it too hot, but you don't want it too cold out at the track too. So we'll keep you updated on that. Also below average temperatures. There's pretty strong, I said temperatures. There's also a pretty strong signal for below average precipitation. So, we're okay right now. We were running a little bit dry in April, but we did okay in March. But you don't want to go too dry in May because a lot of farmers are already planting. A lot of us gardeners are going to be putting stuff in the ground here, all of our vegetables and whatnot, over the next couple of weeks. And that's when you really need some good rains to kind of help things get moving here because you get plenty of dry time in the summer. So something we'll keep an eye on, though. So the 1 month outlook below average. Again, take those with a grain of salt. It's tough to gauge those a lot here, but there's just signs that we look at. I always feel a little more confident in these monthly outlooks with the temperatures than I do the precipitation. So don't completely buy into that. Okay, I think that's it. That's all I have for you here. Have a great month of May. It's always a fun one here in central Indiana with the race coming up and, everything's starting to come in bloom and starting to hopefully get more consistency with the warm temperatures and everything like that. So once we get that past these next few days, right? Thanks for checking out the podcast, though. We always appreciate you. You can always get your forecast for free, by the way, with the Storm Track 8 weather app. By the way, super handy tool. And I'm not saying that, because it's my station. I get $0 for plugging that or anything. But my boys started their baseball season on Saturday. And my youngest got his game in. My oldest just knew it wasn't going to happen because I started getting the lightning detection in your area, and we were in the car, so it knew where we were at as we were getting ready to head over to the baseball field, and just kind of knew that unfortunately that game was not going to happen. But it's a good tool to have, especially that lightning detection based on your location. A lot of you parents now, we are in the thick of it with baseball, softball, tennis, golf season all underway. And all those outdoor activities. So good tool to have to let you know if there's lightning coming in toward your area to get prepped for that in the event of some inconvenient weather. Also, you can get your forecast at wishtv.com, updated 24 hours a day. You can always catch my forecast as well Monday through Friday on Wish TV Daybreak starting at 4 a.m. We'll see you bright and early. While you're here, make sure to check out all the other great podcasts from my friends and colleagues, all part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. Have yourself a great week. We will talk to you soon. And God bless.
Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.